Here, though, is a bit of analysis that I thought was dead on over the weekend after Michelle Bachmann won the Iowa straw poll, what it means, what it doesn't mean. The title of the piece is 10 Things to Take Away from Ames, What Michelle Bachmann's Win Means. The first thing it means, according to Toby Harnden, is that Michelle Bachmann is now a top-tier candidate. No doubt about that. The top tier comprises Romney, Rick Perry, and her, you would think. Rick Perry immediately jumped to second in the polls after announcing that he was in this race on Saturday. The others are also Rands who have virtually no chance. Tim Pawlenty obviously knew this. He dropped out of the race immediately. And you have the others that I'm certain are going to stay in the race because they want to be heard. They want their agendas to be heard, and they want their name recognition to grow, even though I'm guessing they're under no illusions anymore. I don't know that after the events of this weekend, Herman Cain or Ron Paul, well, maybe Ron Paul does. He's just deluded enough to think that he could be president. But maybe I don't think that Herman Cain or Rick Santorum or Newt Gingrich or Ron Paul really think that they are going to be president of the United States or the Republican nominee. The second point being made, outside of the top three, it's hard to see how any other candidates can win the Republican nomination. Yes. 3, Tim Pawlenty's campaign is now likely to die a slow death. Well, it died a quick death. He dropped out immediately. Number 4, fourth thing to take away from this Ames, Iowa straw poll, that Rick Perry entered the race with a strong speech in Charleston and a visit to New Hampshire. Word is the logistics were nearly flawless, impressive for day one of a campaign, and his candidacy is likely to be a game changer, but the next 2 weeks will be crucial. I agree with this. The next 2 or 3 weeks will be crucial for Rick Perry. He's going to be scrutinized very heavily. He needs to deliver. He can't have any gaffes. If he doesn't have any gaffes, he's probably second only to Mitt Romney. You might even see him jump ahead of Romney in these polls. Fifth item to take away from the straw poll is that Ron Paul came in a very close second. He's an important voice in American politics, which he is, but he's 75. He's way outside the mainstream of the Republican Party on foreign policy, and he will not be the nominee. Sixth thing to take away from this, Romney's decision not to compete was a clever one. He would almost certainly have lost to Bachmann and probably to Ron Paul as well, but Harnden notes that Perry, if he's in the race, if Perry's now in this race, Romney can't maintain his front-runner status by staying above the fray and emerging from contests unscathed. The coming weeks will be a real test for Romney as well. The battle's now for Romney in particular to define Perry in order to stop the momentum that Perry's bound to gain from a good announcement and the inevitable excitement over a new face in the race. Point number 8, it's hard to see how John Huntsman's candidacy continues, I would say. Point 9, Bachmann may have won Ames, but Perry's entry into the race could make the day a net loss in terms of her chances for actually winning the nomination. Perry is a strong evangelical from a humble background who is viscerally anti-Washington and a natural Tea Party candidate. All of those things eat into Michelle Bachmann's support. No kidding. We'll talk more about that after 9. And then the 10th thing to take away from this, and I think this is right as well, Sarah Palin received less than 1% of the vote. The law of diminishing returns now seems to be applying to her teasing appearances in between periods of going dark. It's hard to imagine that she will really decide to run in 2012, particularly now that Perry is in. And it's even harder to see her having a serious chance of winning the nomination. I agree with that, and that's why I said save someone like a Paul Ryan jumping in or someone that, is really outside the box that we haven't even thought of. I think these are probably your candidates for the Republican nomination. And that being the case, I do believe Rick Perry is the strongest conservative and Tea Party voice who is more likeliest to be a winner, a guy who can beat President Obama. I don't know that Michelle Bachmann is strong enough to beat Obama. She may be, but Perry's credentials, his gravitas, his experience as governor will serve him well in a race. And as I say, it's just so easy to make the A-B comparisons. He is the antithesis of Barack Obama and could mean very good things for him.